DC Multiverse!
Hey, let's do 3 figures in one review today, starting with Animal Man. Double yoink. This guy's a gold label, and he comes with, amongst other things, as you can see, a Wolverine. At least I think that's what it is. I wish it was a honey badger, because then it wouldn't give a f. This one's based off the Animal Man Human Zoo storyline, and the back has an image of Animal Man in his jacket, which we didn't get. Why didn't they give him his jacket? And here we go, all out. We have his wild looking Wolverine. We obviously have the figure itself. Buddy's looking good there. We have the trading card, and we have a bunch of extra hands, and of course we have an action figure stand. This Wolverine is actually really well done. I do wish that it had some articulation and it wasn't just, you know, a lump of Wolverine. I wish that there was like the articulation in the legs and in the head and in the neck and the tail. I mean, let's face it, if Hasbro can pull off a fully articulated animal for their G.I. Joe line, this is Snake Eye's dog, and even a fully articulated crocodile for Crocmaster. Look at that. The mouth opens, the head and everything moves. Like, this is a fantastic figure. I love this crocodile. I would buy this crocodile just to have the crocodile. Then it stands to reason that McFarlane probably could have made a fully articulated Wolverine rather than just having this thing as one solid lump. It is cool looking though, I'll give it that. Trading card as usual. It's a trading card. What more do you want? And here is Buddy's origin story, so you can actually read this if you'd like to by simply pausing the video. And if you so choose to decline to do this, then the card will go whee. There are some extra hands that come with Buddy here. You got some slap hands, a trigger finger hand. Why? And a claw hand. Oops. And a claw hand. Rah! Figure is pretty standard fare reuse of parts for McFarlane Toys. Not a bad body buck to use. I do wish that there was a basic naked boot area that didn't have this line at the top here. This is unacceptable. At least redo this part. Have it so that you don't have to use the exact same buck the whole time. That's the. I think that Todd and the group need to understand that you can mix and match parts here as long as they fit. You don't have to keep using all the same parts from all the same body bucks. His coloring is pretty simple. I do wish that they gave him his jacket though. I mean, the orange, the black, and the blue all together really pop. But he really needs that jacket. That jacket is central to his look. As you can see, DC Direct and Mattel both knew that when they made their versions of Animal Man. And I feel like if this version had had the leather jacket just like these two, then this would be the ultimate version of the character. Head sculpt for this guy looks fantastic. No complaints. I do kind of wish he had the goggles that you could actually kind of see through rather than just having the same design painted on both lenses. Both lenses have the exact same paint scheme. They stamped it on one side and then they stamped it on the other. As for articulation, I'm skipping it because you know exactly what he's going to have because we've seen this body buck reviewed so many times, it seems kind of like a moot point. So we will move on to the next figure, Red Tornado. Here we have another gold label. And this is apparently just supposed to be the classic version of Red Tornado. Almost, not quite. On the back we have an image of Red Tornado, which is actually from a mid-2000s run of the Justice League and is not the classic version. The classic version actually has the yellow Buccaneer boots and the yellow gauntlets. This is much more of the modern version. Out of the package, we can see he comes with his trading card, a couple extra hands, the Tornado base, the figure, and an action figure stand. These are just open tornado-y hands. Pretty simple, basic open hands. Of course, the trading card is the same as the back of the box. Here is Red Tornado's origin. I'm going to zoom in. You can feel free to read the origin if you'd like to. And if you don't want to, well then as usual, the card is going to go bye-bye. Because we're going to look at the action figure and the Tornado base. The base is just a reuse from Cyclone. And I never owned Cyclone, so I didn't even know this. But my friend Morgan told me that this is actually the base that they use for Cyclone. There's no foot pegs inside of this, so you basically have to just plop the Tornado down and then stuff Red Tornado's feet down on the inside of it and hope for the best. You just gotta Okay, then stuff, and you gotta put the, like this, and ta-da! That's it. That's what you're looking at. That's what he comes with. The figure is reused parts, mostly from the Alan Scott Green Lantern. Actually, I would say this thing is almost all reused parts from Alan Scott Green Lantern. Not the Buccaneer boots. Those are actually his boots. I believe this is the first time that we've seen those used. You can tell that the belt has been reused because, well, there's a belt buckle. And Red Tornado ain't supposed to have a belt buckle. Like, I've never seen him with a belt buckle. Also, Red Tornado has these little cape clasps right here, and everyone knows that classic Red Tornado's cape is not attached that way at all. There's actually just a yellow hoop that goes around his neck and holds the cape in place. And the yellow hoop is supposed to be attached to the top of this T, so the paint should have gone all the way up and connected around like that. This, he never actually wore this. I believe there was an animated series that he wore a cape kind of like this, but that was really it. The cape is a nice soft rubber though. I do like that. It's all squishy McSquishy. And I do wish they had gone though with yellow instead of gold, which makes me think if this is the gold label Red Tornado, that means the regular release will likely have the yellow. And that is absolutely what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a regular release that's not a gold label, that we get the yellow and red rather than the gold and red. Nice face though. I can't complain about the facial sculpt of Red Tornado. I think that this looks absolutely fantastic and stunning. Paint applications and sculpt look great. As for his articulation, I will go through because I've only seen this body used a few times before, and it is actually a really well articulated body. Like, this is, you know, I think this is almost the pinnacle of McFarlane Toys ab crunch action, like what is possible with the actual body. Head is on a ball peg, and you get quite a considerable amount of looky. Then down here at the groin, you've got his McFarlane style groin there with, let's check out this motion. Oh, that is abysmal. Oh, not good at all. He does have, say it with me, double jointed knees. Oh my god, that was tight. He's got a rounded shaped hinge in the ankle, and it's gonna pivot, and he has the toe. Not a bad figure, actually a pretty good one that I was very excited about, and I can't wait to stick him on the shelf with the rest of my leaguers. My beleaguered leaguers. My legally beleaguered leaguers. Now let's have a look at Nightwing. All right, a fan favorite for sure. This one is supposed to be from Batman Nightfall. This is the Nightfall Nightwing. And on the back, we have an absolutely stunning image of Dick in that classic suit. And now that Nightwing is all out, we can of course see that he comes with his trading card, some extra hands, and of course the figure. Oh yeah, don't forget the action figure base. Trading card, again, same fabulous image as the back of the box. I really like that image. And here is the data file on the back for old Richie Poo. Pause to read if you like, as usual. Hopefully you're pausing to read this, because if you're not, then, as usual, the card is gonna go bye-bye. Extra hands, of course. I believe that this one is probably the same one as with the Red Tornado. A grippy trigger finger hand, a straight up grabbing hand, and another punching hand to go with the one that's already on the body. And then he has one with one of his Nightwing discs, and the disc is actually just stuck in the hand. Which I would rather the disc be a separate piece, like an accessory. I will tell you that the paint applications on mine, let me just move my light here. The paint applications on my, oh, that's just great. Thanks, camera. Thanks for just having it out for me today. You can see that the paint applications on mine, right here where the fingers connect to the disc, well, they're kinda sloppy. And by kinda sloppy, I mean very sloppy. Nice belt though, pouches, Nightwing symbol around the front, pouches continue all the way around the back. Paint applications for how they did the webbing for his little glidery thing that fits over his shoulders is the only thing I don't really like about this figure. And the paint on mine is also looking kind of grobbly as well. It's not very clean paint job, like right down the middle and off to the side here. In all fairness, I honestly don't know how they would have tackled this with the articulation being as it is, with that socket in the arm. And you might say, well, just pull this out and then you won't have that issue and put the arm back in. But this is one of those figures that needs that socket. Sure, that will line up, but oh my goodness, that's ugly. It looks like someone ripped his arm off and shoved it back in roughly, because that's exactly what I did. The face sculpt for this Nightwing, it's okay. It's not the greatest. I know some people probably really like it. I mean, the hair is good. You got that whole business in the front and then party in the back, which works out really well. That's fantastic. I do wish that the blue for this Nightwing was a darker blue in contrast with the lighter blue on his feet and on his hands. And I'm going to skip the articulation too, by the way, just because I skipped it for the first figure on this buck, Animal Man, and we've seen it so many times. So the articulation, consider it skipped. So what do I think about all three of these characters? Well, I gotta say Animal Man is my favorite of the three figures, Red Tornado is my favorite looking character, and Nightwing is my favorite character of the three. If I had the money and I could only afford one, I would get Red Tornado. If I could afford two, I would get Animal Man, and if I could afford three, then I would get Nightwing. But none of them are bad offerings. Some I just feel are better than others. Anyway, that is my review for today. Hopefully you found this video to be an enjoyable, useful, insightful waste of time, and I will see you in the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.